Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. Wow, we are back and it is nice and sunny out, and all of our trees are now flowering, and it is quite a sight, and it looks like this one survived after all, so that's great news. We don't have to wait for it to grow again. As you can see, I have been a little bit busy out here, getting some tree work done, some tree trimming, and letting our pumpkins grow. Which reminds me, someone suggested that I should probably go ahead and waterlog some slabs over those water blocks, and I agree, it's probably a smart idea, and I think I did it one time, I don't know, on a different playthrough, and I don't know why I didn't do it here, but I am thinking let's do some acacia slabs so they stand out, so that in spring or even in like winter, if I'm looking for those fields, at least they'll be visible. Of course, I guess if snow covers these up, it won't matter, will it? Okay, there we go, and I think we don't want to break these withered pumpkin vines yet. I don't know. This thing might continue growing along those vines. I'm not positive how that works. Mature and growing withered. You know what? Let's go ahead and we're going to remove these withered ones, because I don't think they actually will grow in that direction. So that should resolve any issues of pumpkins needing to grow across any of these blocks, because they can now. And our pumpkin yield so far isn't stupendous, but we have a little under half to about 25% of the pumpkin's lifespans to go. And hopefully they should continue growing out. Withered pumpkin vine. I still think I'm going to break these. Someone yell at me in the comments if I'm doing the wrong thing here. But we can also go ahead and break our pumpkins here. And we can pick them up and take a look at them. Break this withered vine too. And as you can see, they have a good amount of satiation. And in our personal inventory, they're good for 18 days. Which makes them one of the moderately longer lived vegetables when it comes to shelf life. And you know, I think we didn't want to break those vines, because look at this. We have withered vines here, but a mature vine here. So I may have ruined our pumpkin harvest this year. Now, if you are wondering how to get more pumpkins, well, I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is you can, of course, get more pumpkin seeds out of these pumpkins. The bad news is, well, in real life, pumpkins are basically full of seeds. In Vintage Story, pumpkins are full of one seed each. So I'm going to turn these into seeds because we have now at least recouped our losses. And over the next few days, assuming some pumpkins grow again, we can take a look at how to use them in food, because I realized that after I had turned these into seeds just now. Whoops. Now, something else I wanted to address before we got into the meat of today's episode is these bamboo stands over here, because I don't think I mentioned when I planted these that they grow into stands. So each of these sort of clusters of bamboo was spawned from a single bamboo sapling that I planted right around here. And so you don't need to plant them close together. In fact, you shouldn't plant them close together, because if you do, you'll end up with spaces spawning bamboo where there's already bamboo and then it failing. So yeah, make sure that you plant your bamboo saplings at least a couple blocks apart. You don't have to go this crazy like I did, but yep, it's a good idea too. And now I'm going to go ahead and get some more saplings, hopefully, and replant them. Now, something else you'll notice about the bamboo is that when you grow them, they will spawn these bamboo shoots. Again, as I mentioned in the episode where we discovered these do not grow into bamboo, and they're only good to be turned into kind of lackluster food. But if you leave them in the ground, I'm pretty sure they will prevent further bamboo stalk spawning if you plant your bamboo saplings back in the same area again. So do make sure you clear them up. Okay, and with all that said and done, it's time to get inside and get started on today's project. If you watched last episode, then you might know that today we are going to tackle this room here, the rabbit room, as someone called it in the comments. And we are going to turn this into kind of like another living room, another parlor, I think. I was originally going to turn this into some kind of chiseling room, but it's not very big. We only have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks to work with across. And in chiseling rooms, I like to have a nice big space to work around my project so that if I misclick and I click beyond the chisel project, I don't ruin the wall or whatever else happens to be sitting on the other side of it. So I think this is going to become just another cute little room. It might be something like a better living room with some actual furniture, because out here, this is like a showroom slash breakfast bar. I'm not quite sure what it is. Definitely a sort of showroom in a way, because we have a little bit of a table here, but it's decorative. We have this display case and our armor, and not much room for furniture. And our workbench is still here. This should probably go somewhere else. Oh, yeah, I need to make another axe because I realized I had broken the one I was using to cut trees. Let's just put you, like, in here, I think. Just, boop, right there. Perfect. So I'm thinking I want to work with a color palette in here that's not too different from what else we've been using, but I want to try to use some Acacia in here. Maybe some nice red tones, because we're going to have this, well, we're not going to have this color wall here. I'm going to cover this up with probably some limestone. But I think a room kind of like this, but with red trim in the wood rather than red stone. I think that could look kind of fun. We will also get our staircase up to the second floor in, and I'll probably get to the point where we've covered it all up and we'll have like a pair of doors here. Although in the long run, I don't want to have doors here. This will be open. But in order to keep rabbits and drifters out, we will use doors. So, with that being said, I'm going to gather up a project bin and all the tools that we will need in order to work today. And I'll meet up with all of you when we are ready to break ground on our new room. Alright, good May 6th morning, everybody. We are just about ready here. I have a chest full of most things I think we'll need. And I also have in my inventory 32 pine cones. I'm going to come out here and plant real quick because I want to get some little trees going for like bonsai projects and things, and I haven't had a chance to actually do that. So we'll just clear some area here, and we're going to plant these guys, and once these sprout as saplings, we will pick them up, and they will become our bonsai trees. Okay, let's get in here, and we're going to talk about our materials here and the plan going forward. As you can see, I have some acacia and some redwood and some oak. So we got some nice warm colors here, along with some warm neutrals. Ignore this. Ignore this. This is just going to be our temporary door for the top of the stairs. I wanted to use these because I didn't get a chance to, and I really wanted to make use of these purple heart doors. That went well. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. There we go. I just wanted to reminisce about the moment where I thought these would make a good front door. Back to our box here. We have limestone, light mud brick for the outdoors. We have some swayabite for a threshold, glass for windows, along with the requisite lead ingots, and then a smattering of blue clay and red clay shingles, mortar, tools, a lantern, and a display case, or two. Let's go ahead and let's knock out everything in this room currently so we can get an idea of what we are working with here. Oh, we have another room where it is sunk into the ground a little bit. Okay, that's fine. We can make do with that. While we're here today, we might go ahead and at least close this off so that our dining room isn't like outdoors. But we'll get to that in a bit after we get the rest of this room going on here. And that's going to make me consider whether I want to keep going with the oak planks around here, which is my original plan, or do we want to use some kind of polished rock? I'm kind of feeling the oak because we're going to have a very nice and woody room in conjunction with the acacia and redwood. And so I do think that I'm just going to keep on trucking with the oak planks for now. Now this staircase is already where I want it to be, although I might pull it back one more block or a half a block just so that I can have a bit of a landing up here at the very top before we hit the beautiful purple doors. As for the floor, I had a moment of reconsideration, and I think we might go with some walnut. We'll try it, and if we don't like it, then I will just pop it back out and put probably some larch in. But I think this will have some bright white walls, well, brightish with limestone. We'll have some nice bright red accents with the acacia and possibly redwood, I think having a dark floor will help ground the whole room. So we're going to go ahead and put that in here as well. Now this room, being a living room with what's going to be a large window facing the open air, I think I might break our little 3.5 block ceiling rule a little bit, and I might go for 4 blocks. It's not a huge difference, but I think for this room, I think I want a little bit more air because it's going to be a large room, well, large comparatively speaking, and it's going to have a very large window. So having a low ceiling might make this feel like we're looking out of like an oven or something. So I think that's what we're going to do. So everyone, that is the plan. I think it's time for us to get our gloves on, sharpen our tools, and wet our ceramic and mortars, and let's get to it. Alright everyone, here is the basic room, minus some details up top here that will need to be filled in as we get to them. But I wanted to get a feel for the room and how it's going to look, and I do think that for a window this wide, it does need to be at least 3 tall. So yes, I do think that going for the 4 block ceiling is going to make sense in this instance. Now, some things we could do are that we could also kind of block off this sort of corridor of the room here and make this almost its own little area. And I'm kind of thinking of doing that because we will have this staircase here, and we should go ahead and put those in. And yes, you will see that I am starting here, but what we're going to do is we're going to chisel these back a little more than usual. So normally I would just chisel these to take out one chunk here and here and here. Instead, we are going to start this, actually, probably by needing some more blocks here, because I don't want this to run down into the window like this. This is just annoying. So what we'll do is our first stair will actually be like this. That means that each of these is going to become a little silly block like this. And I need to make a few more of these. That's the wrong type of wood. And tuck them in here like so to make stairs, basically. And that way this doesn't feel quite as crunchy. It's still a little crunchier than I'd like, but without putting like some other kind of landing and just taking up this entire room with a staircase, I don't think we have much choice. So we will just deal with it. And let's get these stairs in here. And there we go. So we have some basic stairs in here. And this actually lines up perfectly over here with what I kind of had in mind. And that is, I was thinking we could fill this in. Maybe with that, we might just replace this with some more like limestone here and have a little bit of a railing here. Ooh, that's a good idea. But under here, I was thinking we could put a couple more bookshelves. But let's get some redwood. I think redwood would look nice here. And let's make us a couple bookshelves. So then we can come in here and we can drop these maybe like this. And there we go. We have some bookshelves to greet us as we come into this room. Now, we don't have any books here yet, and that's okay, but in a future episode, we will come and make much more use of the dining room here, and we will actually make some books of our own, because we are out of books for decorating because we put them all in our library over here. And even this room isn't particularly full. I think I'd like to make something interesting out of these stairs, and sure, these are functional, they work, they look okay because they're large, but I was thinking it could be fun to kind of make these more like real modern stairs, where they have a little bit of an overhang here, a little bit of a lip here, and I thought it'd be kind of cool if we were to line it with some oak. That way it brings some of this oak color into the stairs and up into that hallway there as we go along. So what I was thinking was if we go ahead and we're going to put some of these in here and here, and then we can take our chisel and just kind of pop back this a little bit. There we go. And then we can take this back as well. Yep, just like that. And then we'll place that with oak. Yeah, I like that. I could even almost go for like something down here. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh, now we're talking. Yeah, so we can continue that the whole way up here and have just this nice sort of somewhat fancier staircase. I think I will enjoy that a lot. So I'm going to get to it and we'll get this staircase in. Well, we have some very orangey light coming in here, but let's go ahead and get our room lantern going on here, and let's take a look at this in some more neutral light. Yes, I think the only thing I'm missing is I do need to come in here and chisel this block in right here for all of these guys for consistency's sake. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. I like that a lot. Now the next thing is I am thinking we should definitely do something about this under here. This needs to be probably some more limestone, and I'm thinking a handrail over here or other kind of like wall wouldn't hurt. So I'm thinking it is first time for a meal, and I think it's time to get out some of our limestone and our acacia again to make us a nice little sort of protective wall. I'm not going to call it a railing because it's not going to be like a full-on handrail, but it'll at least be mostly safe, if not up to code. Alright, so first things first, we're going to just drop a piece of dirt in there, and we're going to fill these with some limestone, and then probably another piece of dirt here, and you'll see why in a little bit. We're going to take our pantograph, and we are going to copy, say, U, and then we're going to turn all these into archway blocks, and then with chisel we're going to rotate them into the right location, or position. And then in order to make this join with the hallway properly, we're going to come from this side, and here's a neat little trick, is you can just follow this pattern here to knock out all of the blocks that you need to in order to make it fit. If I can get this to let me sit here, there we go. So then we can just kind of keep pushing these out, and there we go. We can also sort of chunk some of these out here like this if I want to, and some of these. And there we go. So like that, once we take these out and take a look at the other side, you will see that we have a nice connection right here. I love it. So fancy, but yet so simple. Well, okay, the original art was not simple to make, but that was a while ago. We're over that now, right? I don't have dreams every night about that terror. No, not me. Okay, so the next piece is going to be figuring out the height of our handrail here. And I think we're going to want it to be about a block above where our stairs are. So we should be able to just do this to get the measurement right. And so yes, our stair rail should come down right here, cutting this block basically in half. Now, in order to accomplish that, what I'm going to do here is I don't want to have to shave back a ton of this block by hand, so we're going to chunk this out first. And I think we'll even go a bit like this. And that will be the thickness of our little handrail wall thing here. Now that will mean that we can't place any interesting blocks against the staircase. That's fine though, because I think this would be better as a walkway to get to the staircase, so I wouldn't want things cluttering this up anyway. Let's go ahead and start by copying this to all of these blocks here. And let's get some more in here to cover the rest of this up. And that should do. I think this is fine. We'll leave the bookshelves here naked, if you will. And then we'll do that. And then here, we are going to do a bit of probably this first, like that. And then we will chunk these back. Just like that. And now we have a nice little entryway here. I could almost put another one in here, like this. Whoops. There we go. And then maybe chop these back a little bit. And just kind of smooth this out a little bit into the wall. There we go. That's what was missing. Okay, so for this handrail, which is really only going to come probably up to about here, because we'll just sort of use this wall here to keep ourselves from falling out rather than the handrail. So I think what we'll do is we're going to block this back and do a bit of this. And we'll just smooth this out the whole way, like so. I am going to pull this back. I don't want this stopping us from getting out of the stairwell. So there is that. And let's get this chunked back just a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll smooth it out one more block at the 1x1 level. Oh my. No, no thank you. I said 1x1 please, thank you. There we go, looking pretty fine. But it is time for us to add in some of these for the actual wood topping on here. I see topping as if it's a pizza, but whatever. But now we're going to come through with our acacia planks. We're going to see how tall this gets. Okay, pretty tall. I'm going to make this probably 2 blocks tall, or 2 microvoxels tall here. And then to cap it off, we're going to bring this out 1 more block, like so, and we are going to add just a little bit of interest on this side, just on this side of the stairwell. 1, because we don't have the material here to do it. That'd be a real pain. And also because we're not going to notice as much on the stairwell. So the room, however, we will see it much more prominently. Just giving a little bit of overhang here helps flesh things out and give it depth, like so. Could even kind of go 1 more. Yeah, let's do that. That's a little bit better. So now we have this stairwell. We're going to need to smooth out the ceiling here above the stairs. We're also going to need to actually put in some ceiling blocks here and some walls. Let's get that done now and just get that out of the way. Okay, walls are out of the way. Let's go ahead and chisel this down so that they are manageable. We don't bump our head, which we don't quite, but it would still look better anyway. Okay, lighting is once again a little bit wonky, and I have tried doing this and it's not really helping, so oh well. Maybe a game reset will fix that, but we will find out in a bit. Okay, with the room's basics pretty well done, it's time for us to get to things like the room's trim and maybe some kind of chair rails and the window dressing. We're going to need some window frames. I'm thinking that for the window frames, we're going to I'm not sure because this window runs into this one basically right here on the corner. So I might look at leaving this, or I might think about doing some more blue clay brick. Because I think we'll just use some more of this to build that into here, or around here. But we will leave the light mud brick here on the outside at the bottom. However, we are going to do some, I think, red on the windowsills. Not positive yet, but I am leaning toward it. We're going to see how it looks here. Okay, I'm digging it. Let's try copying you. Yes. Yes, I like that a lot. It helps kind of bring the window design up into here, or this design down to the window, whichever direction you prefer to think of it. And next, I think it's time for some chair rails, which means we need some more acacia logs because they are expensive. And then we'll get that going on, and then we should be able to start laying down our beams here, although I think we do need to do another round door frame. And I think for this one, because we are interior, we're going to do some pine. So let's get some pine going on here. Like that. And we should have a door frame in the exact orientation we need here. Let's go ahead and copy this around. All right, there we go. We have our pine doorway installed. And it's time for us to go ahead and let's get these guys in here. Hopefully it'll work. Let's get you... Do we run you across or stop you here? We stop you there. That's good. And then you get to start here and go to... Do we go the whole way up to here or no? You want to stop there apparently. I can't go that far. Alright, that's fine. We'll stop you there. We're going to have one of you coming from... Well, we'll run it the whole way up the door frame here. That's actually good, okay. Bring you across to here. And here I think we need to figure out something to do about this. Do we bring this all the way out to the corner? I don't like so much because of that Z fighting. Do we stop it just here? Yes, I think we do. We have 3 more, so we're going to go from, say, here to there. And from here to... If I can make it line up. Instead, I do this, and then we do some of this. No! Okay, well, it goes there, and that's fine. Now we have some nice little chair rails going around the room here. I think I like it, and I like that it's a different color than this doorway. It makes this really stand out. Like a golden ring in the middle of the room. Now for the crown molding, which, as you guessed, is going to be some more acacia. So let's get these turned into some planks. I will add them... Actually, you know what? Most of these can just be slabs. Let's chop these down again. Because these are going to go right up against here, because these are actually right on the ceiling. Now, these when you get... Ooh, good question. I guess we'll just kind of stop them here. I'll have a little bit of a bevel there. And that'll be the end of that. And then I think... Yeah, we'll do one here. It'll be very short. And then around here, here's where we need to actually go back to having full-size planks. Because we need to work them into the actual blocks there. Okay, so let's get these all chiseled. And I'm going to get these all nice and done here in just a moment. Okay, and there we go. So I think the room itself is pretty well finished. We just need to fill it with some interesting things now. And I think I have a couple ideas as to what can go in here. But not before I remember that we actually do have some more to do here on the window trim. So let's get that done first, and then we'll worry about decorating the room here. And there we go. And I think we don't really need to match that over here. I think this works fine on its own over here on this side. And it's so far away from this side that it's not distracting, at least not to me. Especially with the stairs in the way there. Hides it pretty well. Okay, let's go and put some of this construction material away, and we will fill this room with some junk. I mean, decorations. Decorations, not junk. No, not junk. Alright, good morning, everybody. It's time for us to get to decorating. Looks like all of our little baby trees have sprouted, so let's pick all of these up. And you guessed it, we are going to cover this entire floor with little bonsai trees. That's right. All 32 of them. Okay, I'm just kidding. I only have 2 planters and 1 flower pot. And I have 1 flower to put in one of these guys, so we'll just do a couple of these. Now, I was hesitant to put anything right here because I don't want to have to walk around it when I'm going from place to place. But you know what? These are not too big. They're not even quite a full block. I think it's a great place to put a nice little tree. Now, the nice thing about the pine trees, and actually I'm going to replace this one here with a pine tree, is that the pine trees will stay green year-round, unlike the other trees you can put in planters. So this way we will now have a tree that stays pretty green the entire year. Finally. Now, I also think that I want to put something maybe... Do we do it here, or do we do it maybe on a table? I don't know. I am kind of leaning toward table, and I'm also leaning toward maybe having another couple of these tables, because I would like to have maybe one more, although this is getting kind of full already, so maybe not. Maybe we will just leave things as they are here. Let's grab this guy, put in one more block over here, and then we could put a planter. Do we do it square on? I think we do. Or no, better yet, let's do the planter somewhere else, like in the corner, and we will do a flower pot on the table here. There we go. Let's do another small bonsai in the flower pot, and just to add a splash of a really bright color. Of course, these are already pretty bright, but we're going to put some wild daisies in the corner here, and yes, I am loving it. Okay. And then I think for additional interesting colors, we're going to make some purple chairs. Because we wear purple, and I think purple would go in here nicely. Yes, here we go. We're getting a nice sort of rainbowy room going on here. We have red and yellow in these flowers here. We have green in the trees and the flowers, blue from the bricks, and we have purple. And I guess we have some orange from the pine slabs. So yeah, we have a very brightly colored room here. Now, the only things I want to do next, or last I should say, are that I think we need something on this wall here, specifically. Now, this one's going to unfortunately be kind of blank unless we want to end up chiseling something here, which I might do in the future, but not today. I think right here would be a great place to put a particular decoration we got. Here we go, a painting of an elk. And this, I think, because it's mostly earth tones, yes. I feel like this helps ground the rest of the room because it is so bright. We have these colors I just mentioned here. This is browns and kind of, you know, 1970s greens. Sort of the foresty fatigue greens. And so that helps kind of ground the room a little bit, I think, since we don't have much wood that high up in here. So I think that works out pretty well. And I think having this blank wall here isn't too bad a thing because we do want to have some negative space. We have some here, but the tree kind of helps gobble some of that up. And so having some right in here, I think it's nice to have just a nice smooth wall to look at here and there. But yes, overall, I am pretty pleased with how this room came out. And I'm enjoying having different style rooms in different parts of the house. Like we have different colors, similar layouts. We have a lot of these chair rails, which I'm liking using these beams for, although I probably won't do them again in a future series, or if so, I'll do it sparingly. But I am liking having either colors or designs to wrap the rooms together and sort of bring them into, belonging to each other. But I am enjoying having different colors for each rooms so that no matter where you are, if you open your eyes for a split second and you know right where you are. Okay, now I promised an enclosure to the dyeing room over here, and I think it is time to make good on that promise. So let's get our shovel out, and we are going to probably, let's see, how many dyes are there? It's like 12, aren't there? If we do that, do we have enough room for all of them? Well, I'll be. I just checked the handbook, and it turns out there are 11 dyes, not 12, which is kind of a weird number, but okay, I'll take it. So I'm going to get some materials together, and we are going to put together an exterior for this part of the house here, and I think I'm going to do something a bit different with the roof. Well, different shape-wise, not so much material-wise. Okay, here we are with all of our materials. I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to bring this wall out to here, because we have to, for these guys here. And I think what we'll do is maybe go back inside and make some more mud brick. I was thinking about doing something a bit like this. Maybe doing mud brick on the bottom here, or maybe just doing some other kind of block. I'm not sure yet. I might come back for that. But these interior blocks we won't see, so these can be just sort of whatever we want. Probably some more oak planks, because this is not meant to be a super pretty room. This is meant to be sort of a working room. So we're going to see kind of the back sides of all of our kind of walls here, and that's fine. But what I want to do for the roof is I think I want to actually bring it down like this, and probably, yeah, let's do that. Maybe we'll just bring it out the whole way. I was going to kind of do like a break in it, but I think we can have our first true hobbit hole roof that goes straight to the ground. So we have not really done any of that yet, so I thought it would be fun to do. Let's get some of this here like that, and we will just run our roof across here like this, or like that apparently. Oh my goodness. Then we come up here and we can dig out this layer of soil, and we can actually have some more roof here to bring this grassy look straight up to the top. And that way it gives us a little bit of shade here. And I might even do this. Do I want to do that? It's going to block this part of the window, so you know what? I think I'll skip that. Let's dig those back up. But what I might do instead is something like this. So we do have a bit of an indent there. And then I am going to sacrifice a couple of our aged wood logs. I know I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to. I just don't really have a use for them. They're just kind of, they're hard to part with because they're so rare, but we do have a bunch of them. And we are just going to drop some in here and run back inside, get our chisel, and chisel them down a little bit. Something a bit like that, I think. Looks pretty nice. And you know what? Do I have the bricks on me? I don't. I think that we do need to bring the bricks out here, of course. And then I think that this could use a nice blue brick corner bracing. And someone, and I apologize, I don't recall who, someone posted the correct name for that in the chat a little while ago. I've forgotten what it is, but there is a proper name for the kind of bricks that you would use to brace a corner. Let's bring these bricks out here. So we'll do that, and then let's bring these out as well. And you know what? Maybe we will also do this. I wasn't going to, but hey, we're here. And then, of course, let's do our corner bracing. That has a name that I totally remember. I'm just not telling you guys what it is. And there we go. I would normally make this a little bit wider, but it wouldn't leave much of the limestone, aka pretend plaster, in here with this over here. So I think we're going to leave it at that for now. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, the last thing I want to do is we need to get some kind of additional roof on here. And I was going to do some of the firewood clay shingles, but I think because we have so many bright colors here, we need something bold up here. That's going to be slate. Yes, that's right. We're going back to slate again. It is just a nice color for capping things off like that. I think I want a corner piece up there, just to make that look a little better. And I'm regretting putting away the roofs because I need one more for here now. And blam, there we go. Nice. That fits pretty well. I like that cap on there, helping push everything, push your eye back down to the bright things down here. Cool, and I think this would be a really cool spot outside in the future for like a little tea spot. What do you guys think? A little outdoor, not like a patio, but just like a table and chairs and some drinks out here. Maybe some berry bushes to sort of hide from the neighbors. All the neighbors we totally have. Yep, they're right over there. I can see them. Yep, see they're waving right there. Yep, totally. I'm not imagining things. Okay, as for the rest of the contents of this room, I think we are going to need a light for one. That will be useful. I think we're going to put a relatively low roof overhead. We'll just do some of this above here. And then most of this in here will just become cob. We could turn this into some extra storage or something, but I don't really have a need for it. So for now, we'll just cob it in and pack dirt it in. Whatever we can get our grubby little hands on. Now, I'm not 100% positive about what I want to do over here yet, so I'm just going to go ahead. We're just going to block this off with some limestone. And then we'll come in here around the walls and just drop some oak planks in. I think we'll just kind of come in here with some more of the sandstone rock and cobble and put it along this wall. Sandstone going in. Cobblestone also going in. And I've changed my mind about the ceiling here. I think this needs to be cheaper. Let's make the ceiling out of like birch. It's the same ceiling we have in the adjacent room. So I think it would make sense that we built them at the same time, or pretended we did, that having some more birch in here would probably be best. We have some birch slabs in here, so go ahead and use them since we already had them made. And there we have a quaint little dining room that does not have any light in it. So I'll get on that momentarily between episodes, but for now, you get to go there. Now, you might ask what I'm doing with this over here, and this, of course, is going to become our tool hallway, and eventually this landscape on this side right here is going to get pushed back quite a bit, I think. I might just sort of chop this whole little hillock down and replace it with, well, no hillock. And so I think we're going to wait for what goes here. It'll probably just be a continuation of the roof, although it might kind of angle inward this way because we're going to have a bit of like a barn over here in the future. And we probably won't need all of this horizontal space or all this area to make our barn. But for now, this will do nicely. We will figure out this at a later time. Well, everyone, that's going to about do it for this episode of the Vintage Story Guide. I hope you enjoyed the room build and the exploration of our new acacia wood in greater quantity than we did last time. And I hope you enjoyed the experimentation with colors in this room to bring out a nice, vibrant room in which we can watch the sunsets, because this faces west. If you enjoy what I'm doing, let me know by leaving a like and commenting. Subscribe if that's your thing. As always, I'm your husband Corazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.